Hey guys, how are you doing? I hope you are all having a great weekend. Getting ready for the new week. Got to go to work, got to go to school, whatever, tomorrow. It's a bummer, but such is life, right? So today, I have gotten a few requests for a free-to-play guide. And I am trying to put one together for you. And so here goes, all right? I'm not 100% sure I'm going to answer everyone's questions. And there may be something I leave out as we go along. I've got a couple games running this hangar. Beware, the games are a disaster today. And it's not because of the hangar. I think even if I ran all meta, the games would have been terrible. So, yeah. So let's get into what I want to talk about, and then we'll talk about. Well, let's just get started, okay? First off, don't chase the meta. Let the meta come to you, okay? And I think it's kind of obvious. If you can't spend money or you don't want to spend money, then you're just going to have to not worry about it. Don't worry about the best stuff in the game. And you're not going to worry about getting it. You don't need to worry about what other people have. Just focus on yourself. Focus on what you've got. Focus what you can control and what is within your grasp. All right? And then if the meta comes to you, if you get lucky on a data pad opening or you win a giveaway, then great. Good for you, okay? Second thing is, now, I know some of you guys on Steam, maybe Amazon or My Games or whatever it is, you may not have this option. And I apologize. I don't know what you guys have to kind of compensate or if there is any compensation. But if you're on iOS or Android, watch your ads. I hear so many people say, oh, I can't be bothered to watch ads. Or I don't want to watch ads because Pixonic's making money off of it or whatever. You know, if you're free to play, you got to take what you can get, right? That's the way the world works. That's the way the game works. So don't be silly and not watch your ads. If you watch your ads for keys, for example, in 1 month, you'll get 10,500 keys. I'm averaging 30 days, but that's 350 keys a day. I think it's 350. It's either 350 or 325. But anyways, it's right around 10,000 keys. That's plenty, even without the 200% super chest rush, whatever they're calling it. That's enough to get one super chest. And if you wait till the 200%, there's a chance to get, I don't think you can get two. You might be able to get two. I think timing, you're probably only going to get one. Just because by the time the 200% rolls around, you'll probably only have around 7,000, 8,000 at the most. But also depends on how much you play. So if you play, you get keys from playing. Also, your ads give you platinum. They give you memoriam. You get memoriam? You don't get memoriam, do you? You get platinum. You get gold. You get power cells. You do get memoriam. You get memoriam in this section here, in this little shopping cart section. You get memoriam. So, yeah, watch your ads, guys, and then in your task section, you get your dailies, right? You get your daily stuff. Look at that. I've got my 10 gold and 60 gold, and you know, this stuff adds up. People like, oh, it's nothing. You know, my baby account has like 47,000 gold. That's only from watching ads and playing a few games. I don't play that account very much. So guys, watch your ads. It's worth it. Next thing. Don't speed up your upgrades, okay? I know this is kind of counterintuitive, and I know Pixonic changed the prices, and right now gold is only used to basically upgrade your pilots. speed them up, speed up the boost, and then to speed up your upgrades for your robots and your modules and your weapons. But you need silver, right? So if you just play an hour and a half a day and don't speed up your upgrades, you will never run out of silver. At least you shouldn't. That's my experience. And that's also the experience of a lot of guys. When I first started playing the game, that's what they told me. Don't speed up your upgrades. Just let it happen. And you'll never run out of silver. All right? I know it's difficult to wait for things sometimes, but you got to have patience. This is a patience game. And the thing about money is the shortcut in this game, right? So if you don't have money, and we say free, okay, so let me back up just a second. We say free to play. It's not free. Like, your time is worth money. So even if you are not spending, you're putting time into playing. And that's kind of the same thing as spending money. And that's where the spending money is a shortcut, right? It just gets you stuff quicker, faster, less pain, maybe less frustration with losses and being beat up by overpowered people. But if you're not gonna spend money, then you have to spend time. And when I used to race, so I used to race competitively, and we used to have a saying, you got to pay to play. So you have to pay to play somehow. It's either with money or it's with your time and patience, okay? I know you guys might not want to hear that, but it's a simple fact. All right, and then we move on to the next one. The next one is focus on your hangar composition. Now I'm going to go into this into more detail. You see what I've got here today. So let's do it this way, okay? So it is Mark III, right? I do have a maxed out pilot. I do have a maxed out drone. And I apologize, guys. So one thing I did not do is I did run premium modules on here. And I know that some of those modules are now available in the super chest, or not the super chest, the gold chest, I think. I just want to double check before maybe I'm wrong. Of course, it's like impossible to scroll through all these things. There are drones, so there's drones in here. So if you don't have drones, remember, go back to those keys. You can watch it every day and have 10,000 keys. You can get a chance for a drone, right? So some of the premium modules are in here. The repair amp is in here, and the immune amplifier, onslaught reactor. So these are a couple options to help your hangar. Pilots are over here. So if you're in need of a pilot, you can try your luck here, as well as motherships. I know motherships are another challenge. So your motherships are over here. This is your opportunity to get a mothership. What else? Of course, this chest is the bronze chest is good for just pure resources. But back to the hangar composition. So module wise, I did run premium modules. Maybe I should have switched these out for more, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if these are considered free to play now or not. So they've been in the game for quite a while. I imagine a lot of you do have some of these, if not all of them. But options are, you've got the overdrive unit for damage. You've also got, what is another good one? This is another good one, the balanced unit. And what I would probably think of is maybe use overdrive for the nuclear amplifier, balance unit for your repair amplifier. And I would still suggest, I'm running last stand on all of these particular, no, I'm not on the Fenrir, but I'm running last stand on most of these. And I would suggest running Last Stand. That they're available. You can buy it. Of course, it costs gold, but it is an option. So you just gotta play and earn, watch your ads, all that good stuff, and get your gold. If you don't have a Last Stand, then maybe another balance unit might work, because that would give you more damage. Also, whatchamacallit, heavy armor kit might be good. So kind of depending on where you are, which league you are in, these are all really good to use. Anti-control could also be another good option for you. This guy might be good for you. So it kind of just depends. I used to run cloaking unit before. So when I had Iskra, not Ash, I used to run 3 cloaking units on the Scorpion. That worked really well. So that's also something else to think about. So there are some options, but I do apologize in advance that I did run my games with premium modules. But I did try to remove. I don't know if the Daltoki is considered a premium drone, but I did try to run drones that I think or thought you guys might have easier access to. All right. So, Kestrel on the Imugi, Whiteout on the Leech. Oh, no wonder my Fenrir was dying so fast. I forgot to put a module on. And I ran paralysis on the Seraph. What would I have run? So this is another question. It's probably... So the beak is a good option, guys. The beak is good for a lot of, when you take that amount. I don't know if people have the shy. So it's just really hard to say what exactly is free to play nowadays. Nebula probably is pretty much free to play. That might be a good one too because of the shield. But the beak is good. You take on high damage, right? You take 100,000 damage in 3 seconds. You go into stealth for 3 seconds. I think, yeah, 3 seconds. So that is also a good option for you. Maybe I'll go ahead and put this on the hanger. I'm probably not gonna run this hanger anymore, but I did make some videos with it. And then we've got this guy. Once again, I have premium modules, so I don't know what you guys have and what we can consider free to play and what we don't consider free to play. So, I mean, this plated armor kit is good. The regular one is not so great. So if you don't have these other fancy things, then I would probably go ahead and upgrade this plated armor kit. Let's look at the assault. This one doesn't have an assault, but we have the universal. So all of these are good. I would recommend Onslaught if you happen to have won one. I recommend that over Cannibal because where is one that's maxed out? All right, so this one gives you 35% against Titans, right? 15 against just additional in general, and then on top, so that's against robots, and then 15 plus an additional 20 against Titan. Cannibal gives you, I think, 40, but it's only against Titans. Titan, so this is only 40% against Titans. It does not apply against robots. So when you're up against Curies and Ochos and stuff like that, it's nice to be able to have that extra 15%. So I recommend Onslaught. And then let's talk about how to build our hangar. So you need a beacon runner, right? So that's what this guy is. And another good option is the links. So once again, it's really hard to say because I know some people don't have the links, but then I know a lot of people do. The Seraph. The Seraph is a good robot for, it's not very It's not very mobile on the ground, but in the air it's very mobile, and it has a lot of firepower. So, but I know people don't have the Seraph, but it's been in the game for a long time. I think you can build it in the workshop now. So that's an option. We all know the Typhon has been around a while. This is a excellent build. I don't play it very well because it's a build that I'm not really used to, but it's a very good build. The Leech, maybe I don't really recommend the Leech, but you need a beacon runner, you need a tank of some sort, and then you need firepower. And you don't want to have too much range. I probably have too much range. I got, 600 meters, 600 meters, and then 600 meters, but I don't play, actually, I don't really play any of these like 600 meters. So that's the one thing nice about these radiation weapons. They work up close. And then some options. So like I said, the Lynx is a good option, right? Okay, so the Ravana. This is a good Ravana build, right? I have the glider drone on here that gives you healing after you use your Transcendence. What else do we got? We got the Scorpion, the forgive me for my weapon setup here. But this is also good with the Sonics. I was using ice rockets on here. This is another robot that's good with the whiteout. What else do we got here? Fafnir, I don't really recommend. I recommend the Demeter. And with the blast shotguns, once again, blast shotguns are currently on the Fenrir, so I don't have them on here, so just please forgive me for that. But the Sonics, so Havocs are good on here. These are good on here. What else do we got? What else is good? Ignore the Raptor. Of course, the Lynx is an excellent robot to have, and I kind of probably would have a little more success if I had ran the Lynx over the Mugi. But I don't know. It's a what else is really good for you guys to have? I don't know if you have an Ocho, I recommend running the Ocho. The Khepri is another good option. Maybe the Ophion, maybe the Siren, maybe the Harpy would be good options for you. Maybe the Angler would be a good option. So I do not recommend the Dagon. I know a lot of people love the Dagon, but it is not an free-to-play friendly robot with 6 weapons. That's a lot of upgrading. All right, so then let's jump back into the hangar and talk about weapons. Weapons, I have the radiations on here and on here. In general, you don't want to run too many of the same weapons. Well, so if you're free to play, maybe this isn't a concern. If you're pay to play, then, if you have all the same, I guess maybe it doesn't really matter. If you're a small spender, let's say, then you don't want to run a lot of the same stuff, because if it gets nerfed, then everything gets nerfed, right? So you want to have a little bit of variety in your hangar. If you're free to play, there's a good chance everything or most of it is already been nerfed or not going to be touched again. So you're probably pretty safe, but it's still good to have a little bit of variety in your hangar. And then what else can we talk about? I guess we should talk about motherships. Of course, I ran the Avalon. This is something else I didn't think about. But options would be, depending on what league you're in, where you are. The Mantis, I think, is still pretty decent. It gives you healing and a shield. I do not recommend the Monarch. The Orion is, I think, good for its offensive capabilities. I still think the Northlight is great. Frozen, Scorn, and kind of sorta. I think it, not really. I think Thor has its place with its shield break capabilities. And there's a lot of robots with shields nowadays. So there's the Dagon, and then there's Shenlo, and of course there's the Mars and the Typhon and all those guys. So this isn't another option for you. It's just I don't prefer this option, but depending on your play style, excuse me, it might work. Paladin, I think, is still extremely viable. I think Paladin's probably the second most viable. Roulette is kind of sorta. It has a it's maybe a little bit better than the Monarch for its offensive capabilities. And then the Keel kind of fits into that same basket. It also has pretty good offensive capabilities. The Mute, maybe the Mute's number 2. I don't know. It's kind of a toss-up between the Paladin and the Mute. The Mute is really good because of interesting turret arrangement. You could use 2 durability extenders, for example, and it has lockdown. So, no, it doesn't have lockdown, does it? It just has the blind and EMP effect. The lockdown comes from the turret. So, anyways, I don't know if any of you guys will have any of that stuff. I think you're going to have more like down here. Maybe the Paladin, or Frozen Scorn, Northlight, Orion. So that's kind of what I recommend. And then what else do we got? Of course, you know, on your it's 120% right now for the black market. I would try to wait for the 200 or the 150. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. And then what else do we got? I don't know if you guys know this. I think some of you do, some of you don't. You can sell pilots, right? So that's another thing. You know, War Robots is it's a shooter, but it's really a resource management game. So, right, we got all these thousands of pilots. I've got like so many, it's ridiculous, but you can sell them. Let's find someone to sell real quick. I know I have extras of this guy, for example. So he's worth 600,000. So we're gonna go ahead and sell him. And then, you know, another thing you can do, right? You can go to your components, and you can sell components. So if you don't need something, right? If you don't need this stuff, you can just hit the garbage can and sell it. Motherships, if you're going to, sorry guys, I got all this stuff. It just piles up over time. I know, I'm not trying to brag. It's a reality of being in the creator program. But if you want to sell a mothership, max it out first. So, unless you're desperate, because you'll get more silver for it if you max it than if you sell it at a low level. And then the same thing, right? If you've got excess weapons, you know, you've got all the, you know, random stuff in here, you can sell whatever. Sell your robots, sell Titans. Just try to keep a set of everything, because you never know when something's going to be buffed. Even when stuff gets nerfed, just hold on to it. If you get, you know, 4, or, you know, if it's like, you know, 6 for a Dagon, right? So 6 lights, keep a set of 6, because you never know when it's going to be buffed. What else do we got? Leaderboards, you know, like this Titanic Efforts one, for example. This is something that you can probably do as a free-to-play player. It's the most reasonable one to do, requiring the least, you know, you don't have to spend money. You don't have to spend money on any of these, but honestly, there's no way you can play enough to like 24 hours a day playing the game in order to get these for free. And that's just not worth it. That is not free to play, by the way. That's spending a lot of time. What else we got? Your rewards, right? So, of course, it depends. If you don't have 2 hangers, then you're not going to be able to do levels 3 through 5. But maybe in time you'll get a second hanger. And that's another thing. I don't recommend having multiple hangers. You know, I have 2. I think 2 is enough. It's enough so I can do extermination. And I don't maintain 2 hangers. I know some people like to maintain 2 hangers, but it's too much. So it's too much even for me. I want to run this stuff basically. You know, I try not to Mark 3 things. So to me, Mark 2 level 12 is max, but I want to run a max hanger because I want to play against the best. So, you know, it's hard to do for 2 hangers, much less 3, 4, or 5, right? So just, and then you're wasting gold on buying those hangers. So I don't think that's such a great idea either. And then what else is there? Got our task. Yeah, so that's about it. If you guys got questions, let me know. Let's jump into those games.